Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. As a married man, I want to thank you all for tuning in and checking it out. It's here we talk about love, life, relationships, and more, all from the perspective of a married man. So go ahead and smash that like button for me and please subscribe. That will really help me out. Totally appreciate it. But today I'm going over an article and, of course, giving my opinion as a married man. The article I'm reviewing is titled, What Your Personality Might Say About Your Likelihood of Being Cheated On. And this article was written by Justin Lehmiller, and it was featured on the site Sex and Psychology, which appears to be Justin's own site. So I just wanted to give a big shout out to the author, article source, and give a thanks to all the right people. If you're interested in checking this article out yourself and reading it, I'll post a link in the bio for you. But all right, so the article starts out by stating, there's a lot of research that has looked at the traits and the characteristics of the people who are most likely to cheat on their partners. So basically, the cheaters, there's been research on this topic, but what about the people who get cheated on? Are there certain types of people more likely to get cheated on? Um, that I found that kind of interesting. It's something I never really thought about. But according to a recent study published in the journal called Personal Relationships, the answer to that question appears, unfortunately, to be yes. There are certain types of people more likely to get cheated on. Then the study itself mentions um, it was based on a sample of US adults consisting of 1,577 participants. 54% of these were female and 46% were male. Most of the participants, 68%, were married, and of those, 19% reported that they have experienced a partner committing infidelity. On a personal note, I can say, that that really hurts. Yeah, it's a terrible thing to go through, speaking from experience. Not my wife, thankfully, but when I was younger and happy and well, maybe not so happy, but well, you get the idea. All right, though. Anyways, researchers on this study, they focused on the big five personality traits, they called them. These five traits are number one, openness to experience. Number two, conscientiousness. Number three, agreeableness. Number four, extroversion. And finally, number five, which is neuroticism. So the study explored how these five traits were linked to the experience of partner infidelity among the married. I guess in short, how personality was linked with infidelity in one's current relationship. So three of the five traits showed, no real association with infidelity, like extroversion, openness to experience, and neuroticism. But however, conscientiousness and agreeableness were linked to partner infidelity. I know this sounds a little dry at the moment, but it actually starts getting good here. And I can actually begin to relate to this a little bit. Um, the article goes on to state the conscientious people are the ones that are less likely to have been cheated on. Conscientiousness involved being detail oriented, hardworking, organized, and was like overall responsible. According to the study's author, and quote, for every 1 unit increase in this trait, the odds of reporting spousal infidelity decrease by 53%, end quote. Moving on a little further, in contrast, the more agreeable people were the ones more likely that they have been cheated on. Agreeableness involves being high in care and concern for the well-being of others. These are the type of people that tend to be kind and to be considerate. To quote the article once again, for every 1 unit increase in this trait, the odds of being cheated, on nearly triple. Like, ouch. I hate to say it, but it brings up the whole nice guys finish last saying, if you've ever heard that. I guess this is kind of scientific evidence that a nice guy in a married relationship is more likely to get cheated on, unfortunately. But the author asks, uh, so why are conscientious people less likely to say they've been cheated on? Is it because they make good relationship partners, maybe? Or they might put more work into their relationship overall? Or are more, inclined to solve problems as they emerge? These conscientious people, they might put more work into maintaining an active and healthy sex life, even. Yes, research does confirm that apparently. They do put more work into maintaining and a more healthy sexual life. I guess there's nothing bad about that. But the author goes on to ask, like, what about these agreeable people, though? Like, why are nicer people more likely to say they've been cheated on? Traits like, intuitively being kind, warm and caring. I, you would think those sound like great traits to have in a partner, right? Right. However, though, the author's study goes on to state the spouses of these nice guys and girls, they become accustomed to their nice guy partners pretty much. And yeah, assume that even infidelity, if discovered, like will be pardoned. And people with agreeable partners tend to take them for granted. The study goes on to say, or they just assume that they can get away with these, sort of shenanigans pretty much because this nice guy partner will forgive them. But, bam, like there it is. And this is that point where my MTAL brethren, the red pill and relationship YouTubers, the podcasters, et cetera, et cetera. This is the point where they'll straight up say, I told you so. You know, like I know there's one YouTuber I follow. He's always pretty keen on saying things like, do not put your wife or your spouse or whatever on a pedestal. Like, never treat your wife like she's a queen because she'll go on to treat you like a peasant. He's always saying that, like, every video that has to do with cheating in a relationship or something similar, open marriages. He's always telling his audience, do not put your partner on a pedestal. Don't be the nice guy in a relationship. It's only going to end badly for you. And to be honest, like as a married man, I straight up agree with I, you can't be a nice guy in a relationship. Like I'll give my 2 cents in a minute, but yeah, just keep that in mind. Um, the article it continues by saying basically, these agreeable types, they're more likely willing to work things out in a relationship, to give second chances, to forgive their partners. Like these people, they want to keep the peace. Like they want to protect their children, their families, the lives that they built with their partner. They want to keep that intact, and they're willing to kind of turn the other cheek or look the other way or just grin and bear it to a degree, just to keep the relationship together. And yeah, that's not good at all, to be honest. Like you're just opening yourself up to heartache right there. But it's from here, the article's author, he goes on to state, that there are limitations to the research, like why it happened, the cheating, the motives behind it, and whatnot. Um, the results of the research just basically suggest that certain types might be more likely to end up in relationships with partners who cheat. And this study, you know, it should not be taken to mean a person's personality means that they should be blamed for the cheating. Like, yeah, I totally agree. Like, do nice guys deserve to be cheated on? Of course not. So, like, don't take a person's personality into complete and whole and total consideration when you're looking at the statistical data, basically. Um, but just to end the article off, the author states, um, quote, infidelity is one of the most destructive behaviors that could occur in a relationship. One of the biggest causes of divorce and infidelity, like, end quote. And, basically, we need to understand it from all angles. Infidelity, we can't just look at it from one viewpoint. We need to look at the whole picture. And looking at these five traits and the two traits in particular, it helps us get a better look at infidelity. And I understand that. It kind of opened my eyes a little bit into, infidelity is not always so black and white. But anyways, like, what are my thoughts as a married man? Uh, this article in this study, like, I found it pretty interesting. It's not really in depth. It does throw some statistical data at you, but once you just comb through that, you explore these five personality traits and the ones that are more likely to be cheated on. Like I'll admit, like when I hear of cheating, like I don't usually think like, oh, gee, I wonder what kind of personality that person had, I don't know if anyone really considers that aspect. Like, what kind of guy is he that he let this happen or this happened to him? Like, like I know God only knows. Like YouTube's filled with just thousands of channels dedicated to reading like Reddit relationship articles about cheating, you know what I mean? I usually they're the ones with the AI voice, and they're just reading through Reddit articles on infidelity and stuff. Those channels are like a dime a dozen. It, I will confess, I do listen to some of them. These Reddit relationship channels. I do enjoy the ones actually narrated by a real person, like myself. But um, amongst the other like quote unquote manosphere style channels that where I hang out, I do listen to a lot of these Reddit relationship channels, and let me just say, like, they're always about cheating, they're always about infidelity, they're always just the most negative aspects of the relationship that you can ever consider. It's like guilty pleasure, I guess, for some of us. But anyways, like to delve into some of what the article said, like notice notice how it said that the conscientious people were less likely to be cheated on. Like these are the people who are detail oriented. These are the ones that are hardworking, et cetera, et cetera. Like who does that remind you of? You know, to me, it reminds me of MTOW, like the red pill minded men out there. I apologize for having to say MTOW. Certain words get flagged, and the MGTOW is a word that will apparently get you flagged. So I have to use the shorthand on that one. But as I was saying, these conscientious guys, who do they remind you of? They remind me of like the M Towers, the red pill type men. These are guys who are on their grind, you know. They're the responsible guys, the ones who they're driven. They have that alpha male kind of mindset. They're on their purpose. They're bettering themselves. They don't take crap from anybody. Um, and these are the guys that they treat women a different way. Um, if not like they're equal, they make women work for their love, for their attention. Like these are the type of guys, these red pill men. They put women in their place, and these are the guys they don't hesitate to throw a woman to the street, especially in situations like cheating. And the woman knows that, um, which is surprising. Like women aren't stupid, especially in matters of the heart and matters of love. Like women know that there are limits to what, to what some of these men, to what men in general will tolerate in a relationship. And if they step out of line, they know that they will get tossed to the curb. Um, so that's important to understand. Like conscientious guys know their worth and they don't tolerate anything. And their partners know that. Like MTOW, it might not teach marriage. Like it might teach the opposite of marriage, or and committed relationships. But one thing that's where MTOW and I kind of separate and go our separate way. But I'll give MTOW props. Like it teaches a man to work hard and to know his value and to not take crap from anyone. And believe it or not, that's the sort of thing that makes these guys to be excellent partners. Um, However, let's look at the agreeable trait. On the other hand, the quote nicer people. These are the guys that I get cheated on, according to the article, and these are what we'd call in the manosphere. These are blue pilled guys. Like Um, they're weak in how they treat women. And how do they treat women? Well, they treat women like they're goddesses and they're queens, and like they hold them in this perfect light, like this narrative they can do no wrong and grovel at their feet, so to speak. Like, and not so severe as that, but you kind of know where I'm getting at. They treat the woman like they're queens, and believe it or not, like yeah, that might be cool for a little bit, and yeah, the woman might be loving that sort of attention and adoration, but in a very, very short period of time, these guys who get, you pardon my language, they get pussy whipped, and their queen starts looking at those black knights, those bad boys, black knights being the opposite of a white knight. They're the bad guys, the bad boys, the chads. They're the ones that start becoming kind of irresistible. Why? Because they're the absolute antithesis of the beta blue pilled simp that their husband or partner happens to be. And for me to throw out some manosphere lingo there. These beta blue pilled simps, weak-minded, weak men, basically. I hate to say, it's sad to say when it comes to a relationship that kind, loving men are considered weak. That's sad to say, but unfortunately, that's just the truth. Yeah, I could say that as a married man. I know that. I've been there and done that. You can't be weak in a marriage. You can't be weak in a relationship because if your wife or your partner doesn't respect you, then she will cheat on you and she will make your life a living hell because she can get away with it. You know, it's like having children. You don't give them boundaries, they'll walk all over you. Yeah, every relationship has to have boundaries, like firm, set in stone. You have to let your partner know what are you willing to put up with in this relationship. Red pill guys, they won't take anything from a woman, especially disrespect. Blue pill guys will. And uh, it falls back on them, unfortunately. But I'm sorry to rant there for a minute, guys. But that pretty much sums the article up right there. You know, there's the red pill guy in one corner, and then there's the blue pill guy on the other corner. There's conscientiousness versus you know, the agreeableness. One is red and the other's blue. Like that's just that's my take from this article to put it in layman's terms. Um, you can't be this blue pill nice guy that caters to women that cares too much. You know, you can't be emotionally weak. Um, like the article states at one point, you know, he finds out about his partner's infidelity and he forgives her. He tries to work things out. Like as a married man, like guys and girls, like you can't ever forgive cheaters, period. Like it literally makes things worse. Like don't cheat in general. Like it's sad that I have to say that. Just don't cheat. Like it's sad that that has to be said, but it does. It has to be said. Like, you know, being married for as long as I have, you know, a decade, more than a decade at this point. You know, if you're a guy and you start lusting after your young secretary or whatever, like, get a divorce. Like women, the same goes for you. If that office Chad, that brooding bad boy, you start showering you with attention, sort of attention, you know, getting that home, et cetera, et cetera. If you're tempted to stray ladies, just get a divorce. Like, and no, for the love of God, do not do an open marriage. Ladies, never ask your husband for an open marriage. That's the biggest indicator. That's the biggest red flag that you want to cheat on him right there. It's not going to spice up your marriage. It's not going to save your marriage. You know, polyamory, it doesn't work. You might think, oh, well, my friend does it. It's the no. For 99% of married individuals, open marriages don't work. Asking your spouse for an open marriage, that's yeah, it's the linchpin that's holding the whole thing together. You're going to destroy your entire marriage just asking for that because it shows how unhappy you are in the marriage. So, for the love of God, don't cheat. Don't ask for open marriages. There's no catch 22. There's no like side door you can go through to kind of justify your cheating. Like, well, if he says yes to an open marriage, then I can cheat. It's like it doesn't work that way. Polyamory doesn't work. Um, like no real man. Yeah, let me say this so you understand it. So like the most simply, no real man wants to share his wife. Period. And I know women, God forbid, I know women. No woman who loves her man is cool with him having sex with other women. The polyamory doesn't work. Open marriages don't work. Cheating doesn't work. You're just hurting each other. You're hurting. There's nothing but hurt when it comes to cheating. So for the love of God, guys, just don't do it. Like if you no longer love your partner enough to where you're looking at others for sex, just get a divorce. Like the author, he's straight up where he states infidelity, it's one of the most destructive behaviors that can occur in a relationship. And I know there's a lot of guys out there who can testify like it hurts. What that story you hear on the Reddit relationship channel of the guy coming home from work and finding his wife in bed with another man, like that just you might not think it, but that guy's just destroyed inside. And you include the children if you have them, other spouses. For every married man and a married woman that cheats, there's two spouses in there that are complete innocent parties. Like you're hurting everybody for your own selfishness. So, like that's my take. That's my biggest take from this. Like there's two types of man, there's two types of person. There's the red pill person and the blue pill person. And when it comes to cheating, just fucking don't do it. It just there's no good will come out of it. But like I want to ask, like what personality type are you? You know, are you red pill or are you blue pill? Like like I said, that's as a married man, that's how I break down this article. Like the personality traits the author listed, like I said, conscientiousness and agreeableness, like where do you fall in that category? You know, like I'm an advocate for marriage, children, happy family, that traditional life. I'm a straight advocate for that healthy, happy, loving family. The love that comes, the love that you can only find with a significant other, with a child, children, with a that's that's the only place you'll ever find love like that is with another person and a family that you build together. That's the best kind of life you can live right there. That's the best kind of relationship you'll ever experience. Which is why, as a married man, I can't help but advocate for marriage, much to the chagrin of my MTAL brethren. But guys, just don't put your spouse on a pedestal. Understand that your wife, your husband, or whatnot, that your partner, treat them as your equal. Don't ever put them on a pedestal because they will look down for you. They will lose respect for you. And just remember to keep your relationships fresh. You show affection and praise, show care, but you have to remember you have to show control as well. Like keep your partner in check and establish boundaries. Like ladies' nights or ladies' weekends with no husbands, bridal shower trips to Miami Beach. Like, hell no. And male friends, like, hell no. Like, those are some of the things in my marriage, my wife and I agreed on. Like, she's not allowed to have male friends. You might think, wow, that's kind of draconian, that's harsh, but yeah, I'm not allowed to have female friends. Like, my wife's not allowed to go to some ladies' night, ladies' weekend to Miami Beach or wherever. Like, that puts her in a position where the temptation kicks in, and yeah, I don't know her friends well enough. They might be whispering in her ear, "Yeah, just do it. You'll never know." What happens here stays here. There might be people envious of her marriage that there are women out there who will actually try to sabotage another woman's relationship. Same goes for guys. they'll try to sabotage your marriage so they can get with your wife. Like you can't trust others. So you don't want to put your spouse in a position where something bad might happen. So that's why you establish boundaries. Like relationships need boundaries, period. Like cheating is the entire topic of this article, and it's a deal breaker. And when are in a relationship, you need to make sure your spouse isn't in a position where they're tempted to cheat or they want to cheat, or you're showing so much weakness that they think, what does it even matter? He'll just forgive me anyways because he's a wimp. But guys, let me know what you think. You know, yeah, as a married man, I am that red pill conscientious husband and father. Like as I said a minute ago, like my wife and I, we set boundaries out of love and respect. And yeah, I'm not a MGTOW person, but I agree with some of their mindset. So, like in closing, don't be blue pilled in a relationship. But let me know what you guys think about all that. You know, things like polyamory, open marriage, cheating, forgiveness for cheating. Let me know what you think. I'm honestly interested. Leave me a comment on the video or Hal. Make sure you're liking this video, man or woman. Yeah, make sure you give me a subscription. I think I literally hit 9 subscribers, and I hit 9 subscribers and I plateaued. That's kind of sad. But I'm hoping to look back a year from now and it's at like 900 or 9,000 or 15.1 million, which is my goal. That's my goal, yeah. But anyways, if you guys do have a video suggestion or a topic or an idea, or if you just want to hit me up and say, hey, my email is as a married man at outlook.com. But I just want to thank you all for listening and apologize for droning on for a bit there. And I hope you took something out of this. Let me know what kind of man you are and what kind of relationships you expect. What do you look for in a partner? What traits do you find admirable? Let me know. But I'll catch you guys at the next one. Thanks a lot. Bye for now, everyone.